Hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, no shocker of course, I have a brand new layout. Now this layout is big, but it's small in of itself because actually there's this big, huge open area right in the middle of the layouts. And so that's, well, very different. I usually leave huge open areas in the middle of the layout. But anyways, so I don't ramble for too long, we're going to get right into this, and I actually have to set some signals back up from where I was doing the intro. One there, and one here. Hey. I can't tell what looks best. I'm going to do something like this, honestly. Yeah, that. Anyways, we're going to start here at Knapford and Knapford Yards, and this layout's actually very different. And they went through a couple different designs. And by a couple, I mean literally one. So it went up, and this was just replaced with a switch similar to this. It's just my custom-made one that my grandpa made out of some spare wood. Because actually a couple pieces, I have a custom-made T-switch, a couple of risers, my yard tracks, and by yard tracks I mean they're like a yard long, like 3 feet I think that is. And then, I think don't know if I mentioned it, but the T-switch and that small switch, I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not, sorry. I checked it. If it feels dark in here, because it kind of is, it's actually really cloudy outside right now. I think it's gonna rain. I'm not sure. But, recently I haven't had my window open too much because it's been so hot outside with summer. And real quick, I'm gonna ramble. With summer, where have I been? Because I made a new video, but that video was actually pre-filmed like a couple weeks ago, actually. I know it's quite a while ago. These first like week or so, I've just been taking on my summer. I've built a layout, didn't like it, but I've mainly just been chilling. I've had a long school year. I just wanted to kind of relax and settle in. And also, so Friday after this Friday, so Friday after next. So pretty much, if so it's Monday right now. Is it Monday? So I lose track of time. Whatever day it is. So Friday of this week, this is gonna be released on the same day it's filmed. So Friday of this week. We'll then go a week from then. That's the Friday I'm going to the beach. That's the day I'm leaving. And so then, during that time, I will obviously have a video up on the layouts. And I might make a different iteration of the same layout. So, yeah. Stay tuned for that. But anyways, let's get into this layout tour. And also, this layout has 2 gauges. Like the other layout I did with the Steamworks right over there. Except this time I have more buffers, and it's not just a pitiful sheds. I know, shocker. But anyways, let's get into Knapford. So in the yards we have the Scrap Monster, Philip, Harvey, Rocky, and some cars with this random brown crate, and of course the ultimate Toys R Us crate. I think Toys R Us actually came back, but it's not how it used to be, and I gotta fix this barrel at Tidmouth. Speaking of that, let's go to Tidmouth. So every single line on Knapford, except for Hank's, can be reached by Knapford without having to back up over a switch. So Donald and Gordon's line both converge here, and then Douglas's line converges with Gordon and Donald's line here, and this is the Knapford Junction design I went for this time. We've got a small switch, the X switch, and a V switch here, and it all fit in really nice. And you go straight to the T-switch, will lead you straight into the sheds with a bunch of engines, and this is actually a really different design to Tidmouth. Because if you know, I either have these lines running through, or have like the like the T-switch, and then these 2 lines connect to said T-switch. Well, this time I had an idea in my head, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna work. So what I did is I took a ramp in a 2-inch, and originally the ramp was actually a buffer, but then that shed door couldn't open. So I changed it to a ramp, and then it works fine. But yeah, this looks really nice. I'm gonna use that chewing garage from Brio. So we have Neville, Molly, Murdoch, and Samson's actually here in this far berth, but Samson's a really annoying character in my mind. And he didn't get too much character development, which is really sad for him. And out of the Gator, I'm not sure why. He's actually right here, just outside of Knapford. And here we actually have a Bold Out reference, where Stepney and Duck take the express in theirs, where they're going over Gordon's Hill. But anyways, so we're going to go on to this switch, and we're going to go this way towards Gator. And we're going to go straight past Gator. There's Oliver. He actually has a Chinese dragon and obviously Toad. Sorry, I forgot to move the camera. And that goes over to Wilbert's, along to Whiff, and there's a track I'll get to in a minute. Around to Spam Can, there's Gordon's Hill, which leads back into Knapford. Around that switch, there's the Topham Hatt, but let's go on the other switch real quick. There's that Knapford Tunnel with Spiderway Glennick, and then that track actually goes under back to Oliver, or through the Workshed, back to Murdoch, Molly, Neville, and Arthur. Not Samson. Also, Birdie's here at, like, the Knapford car park. So, yeah. It's kind of like that roundabout thing outside of Knapford right here, with, like, the Lion of Sodor is or whatnot. But, anyways. And you might hear thunder, I'm not sure. Probably, like, it's probably going to be really annoying, but, oh well, whatever. Can't control that. Next, we're going to go down, like, Edward's branch line, sort of. So, we go on the switch down to Edward Station, where he is with Trevor, well, obviously. Then we head along to this switch. And first we go here to Flying Scotsman on the trees on the track. Around under this bridge to Toby's Women with Toby. Here's Barry on this other line. Which actually, real quick, if we zoom back over, if we go on Winston's line, we go around under, on the middle section of the mountain tunnel, there's Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle. Over the dumping depot with Hero. Down around this, over this crossing where Ryan is, and there's Smudger. Don't know what he's doing there. Over the clock tower, along to Henry on the Bay Bridge, down to Barry. And there's a bunch of bumps here. There's the 14-inch bumpy track. The one bump track, I'm not sure where that came from. I think it's an Imaginarium thing. And then here we have the trees on the track. And that actually leads back into the Knapford Junction on the other side, where we have Donald's line, terminal line, and ends at the signal box. They put both signal boxes. We have the over-the-track signal. And then this splits out. So here Connor and Caitlin go in different ways, maybe racing or something. And then Gordon and Douglas's line actually converge over at that switch. And then Hank's line goes over to Connor, who would lead over to Toby's windmill and stuff. But going with Toby, if he were to keep on going, and if he went straight, he'd actually converge with Gordon and Douglas's converged line. That makes no sense to say, but cool. And that actually gets into this actually rather cool docks. So this switch right here at the docks may look familiar if you remember the living room track tour. I had something similar to it, and I was trying to work out how to do this docks. Which actually, here it is in its entirety. It's really small, but I really like it. There's a bunch of characters here. So we obviously got Cranky. I can't find my bolster. Like, I'm looking around for him right now while talking. And I can't see him. I don't know where he is at the moment. Anyways. There's Cranky, Salty, James, Skiff, Porter, and Butch. And Butch is actually going to clear up this mess of milk tankers that Porter has accidentally crashed. Here at the Brendan building, we have a flatbed about to be loaded up. There's a stop sign for engines to know to stop before going onto this line. Salty shunting some cars. James is heading in probably to pick up a train or something. Reginald's over in the back here with Mr. Jolly's and the paint factory. And the paint factory doesn't actually have its track here because it wouldn't work, but just putting it next to the track works perfectly fine. And at the back of this track, there's also the hand car, which I'm going to push back to the buffer, actually. And so, track's actually just single line, double line, single line. But even then, we have this big condensed middle part. So we have a water tower. That house I've had for like 2 years now, I think. This house right here. I got that Christmas 2020 with my twist and turn set. And then the cider mill, which then converges up this piece, which actually, cool story about this. So, what happened here is, so if you know, I have this. And then I actually have two more of those because I had the whole set and the crossing thing. But the other two with this end were broken. Well, I had the end of this on my nightside table. And then I found this and realized... And I saw this little silver, like, gold silver thing on the bottom. It was on the bottom at first. And so then I'm like, well, let me see if I can pop it out. Because it was slightly sticking out, so I actually was able to pop it out really easy. So I'm like, wait a minute. So I grabbed it because I remember it was on my nightside table. Put it on, and I put the little peg here first, but then realized that I probably put it on top. It's easier to stick in on the top. And it doesn't want to come out. I pushed it down in there. So now this works, and they look really nice put together. Because the tracks, like, all the design works. And there's this really cool watermill print on this one, actually. Right here. I actually love that so much. So, yeah. Anyways, that's that. So, continuing on. I've gotta fix this. So, we go over the old style suspension bridge with my new 2022 diesel. Also, I plan on getting the new Rebecca because she's been released on Amazon. So, yeah, I'm excited. Anyways, we go down to the sheds with Hugo, and that leads straight in the sheds. And there's your Top Hat's car. And that barrel I fixed earlier, and it's actually a signal at Tinmouth that I forgot to mention. And also, I think I put Elizabeth somewhere on the layout. Oh, yes, I did. Anyways, so let's go back. So there's two switches I didn't go on. And that was actually purposeful. And I think we're going to go on to the one that'll easily segue into the next segment. And that's switch by width. So, you go over this wacky track to Billy at the Steamworks. And the Steamworks, I think, is a lot better in my mind. We have Duke, Kevin, there's Mad Bring, and Frank. Frank's technically not a diesel, but let's just say Frank needs a new wheel and he needs his lamp fixed and a new wheel. That's something Victor can do, who is actually... I know he's a wood Victor, but he's the only Victor I could find. I got him back when I went school shopping last year, so yeah, he was at a Barnes & Noble. And Percy's up here with your top and headed. There's Elizabeth right there in between these two buildings. And I don't think I mentioned it, but there's Kevin and there's a crane. And so, real quick, so the entire wacky track here, and everything at the turntable is dual gauge. The T-switch becomes standard gauge, and this entire line from these two curves, that 6-inch, is all dual gauge too. Actually, no, only these two curves are dual gauge. I think that makes a bit more sense. And then, this line starts narrow gauge, and so here's the small narrow gauge sheds. It's better than the last one I did. You have a siding there and a siding over there. There's a station here, which gives me access by going around. Over this Marion Bridge, over the narrow standard gauge line. Through this tunnel where we actually have Renee's pulling a passenger train through this little forest area. I also put Wilbert here, unintentionally, but he's near the forest, so cool. Then go back. So then we go around here, over this to Duncan and a flatbed here. And this is kind of like what Keycray did, Tom Swin Railway. Whatever you call them. Except he had the top line narrow gauge. I just did it vice versa and worked beautifully. I like how this turned out. And you keep on going, and here we come to these slate mines. So I made this entirely out of my clickety-clack track, which I actually have in a bucket up on my bed if I go and look real quick. This is all my clickety-clack track, and I don't have a whole lot of it. I don't have any small switches of it. So that's really annoying. I literally don't have a single small switch that's, well, clickety-clack track. But this switch here, and if I go this way, this is actually the slate exchange. And I know it's in the complete wrong spot. It's not meant to be right off Wellsworth, but that's just the best I could do. And Smudge is here being a pumping engine behind this workman's hut. That's why he's actually here. And Bill and Ben are here. Ben has a flatbed and Bill has a gold car. Rusty, Freddie, and Bertram are also over by the sheds. And then Ivo, Hugh, Scarlowi, and Luke are over here. We have two sidings. And I just grabbed some random bits. Like these two things are Take and Play. This is a new Trackmaster, and I think these two are actually Trackmaster. I think they came off of the Mad Dash and Soda set, which I actually have. I think I had it a long time ago, so it's probably broken apart by me. But those are some rocks that went onto the supports, and kind of see where they would slide on. They're hollow on the other side, but oh well. They look nice from one angle. That's it. And over here's down there, and boulders right here. I put Scarlet with the construction cars. And funny fact, I couldn't find the sand cargo for a little bit of making this, so I thought I wouldn't be able to find it, and then I actually just found it like 5 minutes before making the video. I was adding a couple final details and just found it. So yeah, it's fun. It's always fun finding stuff. Anyways, I think that's actually the entire layout. Just looking around to make a final check, and yeah, that's actually the final part of the layout. So nice. I'm gonna head back. We're gonna pick up the signal so I can easily sit down and not destroy anything. And we're gonna finish off this video. Sorry if there's a really bad glare coming off my windows, a bit of sun peeking through the clouds. But anyways, this has been Thomas the Train with another layout video, and I will see you later. Bye.